Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black Quant Edge VTF here at T3 Live with this week's market wrap-up. And gangbusters we do, come flying out of the gate, nice week, straight upper. And here you can go SPY, going bam, 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 4 days of straight up into new highs. Real nice. And last weekend, I told you I was going to make a video, which I did. And T3 Live sent it out last night. I highly suggest you watch it. Basically, the time is calm to just keep talking about the truth. And one of the things I talk about is the use of lagging indicators and the term momentum, right? And I want to be very clear about this. That first of all, a lagging indicator is an oxymoron, right? It's not true because it couldn't possibly lead what's going on, right? And then when people say I'm using it to gauge momentum, that would be assuming that price has mass, because that's how you gauge momentum in physics, mass and velocity, right? Which it does not, right? Because if it did, it would also be subject to gravity, and obviously we can see that it has nothing to do with that. And so what it really is an analogy. So just like saying that sports team has momentum coming into the playoffs. Well, that's not true. It's like they have momentum, right? When you have an object in motion, it's like it. It's an analogy. So if you're trying to use lagging indicators to gauge momentum, you're using an oxymoron to try and prove an analogy, right? It's just not true. And so the problem I have with that is, like, when people lose trying to do that, they'll blame themselves, right? And it's not actually their fault. And then if you say, well, I know people that do make money doing that, it's like they're not making money because of that. They're making money because they manage their risk, and that's a good thing, right? But if you're losing and you're blaming yourself and you're getting down on yourself, just don't do that, because stuff like that, it just isn't true, right? And so the problem is, why will people continue to listen, even if they lose, and be like, I'm going to keep trying? Well, it's because when there's money involved, people will listen to anything if they think they can make some money off it, right? Your thought process completely changes, right? It's like when you watch the news and you see them talking about some phone scam or whatever, and you're like, who would fall for that? That's so stupid. I'm like, you get money involved, and somebody would rather believe something that sounds stupid if they think they're going to get some money out of it. It's like buying a lottery ticket for the Powerball. You know you're going to lose. Any rational human being knows you're going to lose, but you do it anyway, right? Because there's money involved, and be like, whoa, but, yeah, you're going to lose. All right, so I would highly suggest you do that. It's on my YouTube as well, Smith in the Black, all one word. The greatest story ever sold. I would take a time and watch that if you have not. So let's get back to this week. It was called a simultaneous break, and I'm going to get into some of the stuff I talked about in that video too, just very briefly. And what a simultaneous break means is that almost every actionable signal triggers to the upside at the same time, and that's when you get the market just really moving. And if you don't know that, one of the problems with that is you're going to get out too soon. Right? You might have started off the week great, because what some people will do, if you don't know how to do this, is that if you get in and it starts going here, you start selling out. You start selling the whole way up instead of buying more. And what you want to do is buy more. I want to be as long as I've ever been right now, right? And then if you want to dump it on the close on Friday, that's fine. But if you start piecing out, you're going to get, you're just leaving too much on the table. So when I call simultaneous break, it's a break of all the actionable signals. And so what I've broken it down into is that there's only 3 possible scenarios that can play out from 2 bars. All right. One is something goes completely inside the previous range. I'll show you this here. So if we go to SQ weekly, this is scenario 1. Is the only first possible scenario. You can't take out either side, right? Can't do it. Scenario 2 is you take out one side. Didn't take out this side, just takes out one side. That's the second scenario, right? And the third scenario, you take out both sides, right? You see this overstock? Here's the weekly. Took out that side and that side, right? That's the only 3 possible things that can happen, right? And the good part about that is we can represent this as a consolidation. 1, 2 is trending, and 3 is reversing, right? And the good thing is you can't have this third scenario without the second one happening first. That's good news, right? So what we had as far as simultaneous break is all these ones, scenario 1s breaking to the upside. AABA, 1 going 2. That's a 1-2, right? Texas Instruments, And remember, this represents consolidation. And the good thing about the beginning of the year is we have 2 short weeks, which gives us a lot of opportunity, more opportunity that these things are going to consolidate because they don't have as much time, right? But then you get the break, the consolidation, the break, 1, 2, up, and it was all over the place. And you had Boeing and FedEx and UPS, right, and a whole bunch of Adobe and all this kind of stuff, right? And that's what's occurring, and then we can look for that across multiple time frames. If you go to YY here, inside week to the up, 1, 2, and it was also doing it on the month here, 1, 2, right? So when you know all this stuff, it's not a matter of trying to know where to look. It's a matter of trying to go after them all. There's so much going on, right? So that's a good thing, right? And so if we look at say Netflix. So Netflix here on the monthly, what this does, I'll pull this out a little bit, and you've heard me talk about rev stress before, hopefully, right? This goes 1 here, right, inside of that. 2 here as it breaks to the downside, but when 2 comes back into the 1, now you have a 1, 2, 2 reversal. And what the 2 means, 2 broke one side, and then when the next 2 breaks the other side, yeah, you got your reversal. It's on, right? And then we can go break down, right? See if we can find anything that would line up with that. 1, 2 on the daily, and off she goes, right? And I'm not getting too heavily into this, but I definitely wanted to show some of this to you because it's very important. Now we know exactly what to do, where to go, everything all the time. We already did, but now we have it quantified even further where we don't actually need the actionable signals once we know this stuff. So let's go back to Overstock. Once again, you can't go 3 without going 2 first, right? One direction. Look at this. So weekly, what did it do? It went down, right? There's your 2. Once it gets back in here, it's that potential 3, the only other possible outcome. So what we look for, what might do that? Hammer, right? And that's the 2. That's the 3, 2, and back up and again. So all this kind of stuff we can use, we can definitely use, because then we know this thing's most likely going to start taking this stuff out, and if it keeps going, great, because then these can be continuation patterns. If we go to MCO, once that third scenario is created, right, the third outside takes it out, then we know that the sellers were willing to sell down and the buyers were willing to pay up. Right? And if they blew everybody out here and they still got to get in, outside of this is a continuation pattern. MCO, bam, bam. Right? So that goes 3, 2, 2, gone. Right? And so by knowing some more of the stuff, that's just how you catch stuff on the gapper list, like yesterday, CNET. Scenario 1, inside bar, boom. Scenario 1, inside bar, boom. And this thing goes from 5 up to 12, right? Stuff like that. And like you submit Triple M. On the weekly, goes down, comes back through. That means we want to get involved as soon as it gets back through here. And this has produced a lot of stuff. So, and you may say, oh, Rob, market conditions were great, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but how about the short side? Sarepta. So Sarepta here goes up on the day, right? Here's that coming back through. Here's 2, 3, bam. Comes up into here, but then yesterday, this is the outside day. That's a 3. And if you get a range expansion out of that, look out. Boom. Right back down, smashing through it. Takes it right back down through the week. And if you go to the 30, you're going to see this. Then we can look to add every time it goes 2 in a strong trend. Boom. Here's your 3 outside. 2, hit some more. 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 And this is how you can pour it on, right? And when this worked extremely well. We were already adding to stuff, but now we can add a lot more. If you look at WIN here, WYN, same deal, short side. Outside bar, range expansion, puke, right? And then you can whale on these things, and you can slow it down to the 60 and just hit it any time. Here you go, 1, add, 1, add again, right? And you can just really pour it on. So that one of the most important things you want to do in a market like this when it's going gangbusters to the upside is not sell too early. You want to buy more. If you look at Boeing today, just screaming, right? Screaming. Buy. Inside, that's the 1. Buy more. goes out on the highs. And on a Friday, you can do that with options. And those things exploded. So, and once again, because that was weekly, 1, 2. Daily, 1, 2. Put you right where you need to be all the time, every time. All right, that's going to do it for today. So to, throw out those indicators, question them for sure. Think about what I said. Go watch that video. Have an awesome weekend, and maybe y'all come see me, as I'm going to keep explaining this stuff over and over and over again because it's the truth. All right, everybody have a great weekend. I'm Rob Smith, the In the Black Quant Edge VTF here at T3 Live with this week's Market Wrap-Up.